What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. We and Sim are behind enemy lines here with Robbie and Lee. How we doing, guys?
Yeah, good. Looking forward to the game.
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
Guys had a good week?
All right, this is where to go.
Yeah, we was in the next round of the FA Cup. What about you guys?
Oh, not mention the Wolves game?
Well, we didn't lose.
You didn't lose, yeah.
You know, you take a draw now in a lot of games.
Draw at Molineux, that's what they say.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
What did you do there?
Well, we haven't played there yet.
How'd you do it at home?
How did you do it at home?
We
didn't
drew.
beat him either.
Yeah, but we're in a relegation
Last
battle.
minute
You're in a title
celebrations.
race.
Oh, relegation battle.
Oh, relegation battle.
I like it.
Yeah. So your fellow team then?
Yeah, well,
You could
they're
be
down.
playing.
They're down. We've passed the Wolves hurdle.
Well, you never know. You could be playing them next year.
We could be. But go on.
No, I'm saying you said on Wednesday you don't like to use the B word, bottle. I was watching your fan cam after the Wolves game. Are you worried about that going into this game?
Well, listen, it's the North London derby, isn't it? Right. So it's always a tough game. We're under a lot of pressure. That's facts. You know what I mean? It's a must-win game for us. Every game's a must-win game for us right now. Normally you go to your place and say, well, if you get a point, it's not the end of the world because, but this game, I want to see a reaction from the team. That was, all jokes aside, it was a horrendous performance against Wolves, a game we're expected to win. We didn't play well. We were 2-0 up as well, you know what I mean? So I want to see a reaction from the team. And they know what this game means to the fans. But more importantly, this game is a massive game in a chance to win a title this year. It's a big opportunity for Arsenal, you know what I mean? I know you've got a new manager in that, but you've got a lot of injuries. There's a chance for Arsenal to go and win this game.
Why do Arsenal keep showing this face to them? The Brentford game, the Wolves game. It just seems like you're struggling to get over that hurdle. And is there a massive psychological problem at Arsenal right now, do you reckon? Possibly.
It's pressure, isn't it? Pressure's been, the Brentford game. I thought Brentford are a decent side. They're good. They made that game really difficult for us. I know a lot of people say how badly we played, which we weren't great, but I thought they played really well as well. They defended us well. The Wolves one was unforgivable because we didn't play well, and despite not playing well, we're still 2-0 up. Should have secured it. So that one you can definitely say.
We had Premier League history that night.
And I thought we kind of panicked at the end, and that's what cost us. But we can put it right on Sunday, innit?
Lee, you know about the Premier League history you made on Wednesday night?
Yeah. I'm not bothered about that, you know what I mean?
You seem bothered on Wednesday night.
I look at the manager over the last few games, and I think he's been, and I've probably, you could throw this his door on a lot of occasions. He's been more afraid to lose than going to win games. I felt that, against Wolves, that was inexcusable. You're 1-0 up after 4 or 5 minutes and you decide to defend it instead of go for it. I think a proper team that's convinced that they can win things goes there and wins 4-5. Because, their heads are in, not like Spurs, your heads are not in the Championship, are they? You might be in a relegation battle, as you said, but you're not thinking you're going down. They have. And for him to just be a little bit... And against Brentford, as poor as we was playing, we went 1-0 up in that game. Instead of going for the second, we defended it. I know Declan Rice probably could have shot instead of passing, but I think there's a little bit too much caution with it. Don't give the ball away, whatever. So I'm looking at Arteta now to maybe look to change things, and that's hopefully gives us a little bit more positivity going into the Spurs game and beyond.
But there's something going on with Arsenal this season. Every time they have a chance to really extend that gap, because right now they're 5 points clear. City have a game in hand now. You've had the chance to make that a much bigger gap than it is currently. The squad Arsenal have, the money Arteta spent, the time he's been there, with the seasons that City and Liverpool are currently having, you should be way out in front. So why aren't you?
It's not as easy as that to just say that, because you could say the money that City have spent. You've spent like $500,000 in a transfer window. Look how much money Liverpool spent.
They just spent money in January.
It's true,
well.
but
and they just spent money in January.
City are going for like a transition this season.
People said they were going for a transition last season. You know what I mean? Like they bought in loads of players last season. So they've had time to bed.
But they're not near you because they're doing well.
And it's not every time. That's not strictly true. It's not every single time, right? Because we've had times when we have extended that lead. You know what I mean? Right. So it's not been every time. I think it's been more the recent. You could more level at that and some of the recent games because we had a chance to go further ahead against Brentford. We didn't. We had a chance to go further ahead against with that Wolves game. We didn't. Those are the two.
United as well.
Those are the two you could. The Liverpool at home, yeah, that was not a great performance.
That's what I said. That
you know, but listen, it's still a long way to go before we get to the end of this league. But
I'll tell you what, we're 2 points.
Still top.
We're 2 points in front. If take away the game in hand, like, you know.
And you've got to go to the Etihad.
You've also dropped as many points from winning positions this season. You did the whole
they know a lot about us.
I don't even know how many points. I don't know how many points they've got.
Yeah, I don't know how many points.
You'd like to be in that position.
Yeah, you'd love to be in that position.
Regardless if we would like to be fighting.
You don't like to be in that position.
No, at the end of the day, I'm loving where we are.
I'd rather be 9 points ahead, but listen, we still got it in our hands, right? We're still in a great position, right? And, you know, winning leagues is not easy, is it? That's the reality of it. So you get some anomaly seasons when teams just go and just blitz the league. But overall, winning the Premier League especially is not going to be easy.
No one gives it to you, neither. No one gives it to you.
I think massively suffering from PTSD over the last couple of years and the title races.
That's true.
Do you think Arteta plays a key role in this? Because if he goes out and attacks opponents, I don't think you'll be having some of the results that you've been getting.
No, I agree. I think like if we'd have been a little bit more, less cautious. I'm not saying like go out, gun out.
Because you've got the players to do it.
We've got the players to do it. We've got the defence to do it as well. Like, and that's the frustrating thing from my point of view. I think at the end of the day, for instance, the Nottingham Forest game. You know, 10 minutes from the end, I'm hearing, we can't win it. Let's not lose it. I don't want that. I want, you know, if you want to go and win this league, go and win it. I expect us to go to Tottenham on Sunday. And go a goal up and then go for the next one. Not sit back and go like, let's wait for Tottenham to make a mistake or wait for something to happen. You know, even in that game against Wolves, we were so poor going forward, but somehow we found ourselves 2-0 up. We didn't actually go and make it happen. So that's what I want to see a little bit of change. I want to see a change in mindset from Arsenal. Hopefully that'll happen. And if it does, then maybe you'll see a different Arsenal.
New manager bounce for Tottenham on Sunday. Igor Tudor's is through the door. Thomas Frank's out. Is that, looking at that going into Sunday, are you thinking, I wish they could have just kept Thomas Frank for another week?
They've already suffered for one new manager bounce this season.
I knew he'd be gone by the time you got to us. You know, after that Newcastle game, I knew he was going to go. You know, I mean, you couldn't keep him after that, could you? Listen, it's a new manager, Igor Tudor. So you know, he's unexpected. We don't know what to expect. I guess you guys don't know really what to expect yet. So it's going to be interesting. It does make it a lot of a different game. Although Thomas Frank, would his style have suited that game? The one game when it might have suited, because
he might have, though, did it?
No. Yeah, that's true. He was but I think he was too defensive. Listen, he had to go, but I don't know what to really expect from Igor Tudor. I've read that, you know, he's a guy, he likes those teams to be really intense, press, you know.
Does that fear of unknown make you nervous? Does it make you nervous?
If that is the kind of style, that kind of suits us, isn't it? We kind of like teams that kind of press on us so that we can, you know, catch them on the counter-attack. It's going to be interesting. I think he's got to get you guys organised at the back, though, because when you came to the Emirates, especially from set pieces and that, you were all over the place. So I really don't know what to fully expect from him, because, you know, I have seen him managing Juventus.
Could that play in our hands, though? Because Arteta doesn't really know the game plan to kind of go for.
Possibly.
That's a great point. You don't know what
you don't know what to expect.
If you don't know, no one's seen Spurs, have they? So when you're playing a game, you don't know. For instance, you don't know if you're going to play a back 3, back 4, 5 at the back. Like,
I'm sure he'll play a back 3.
So, like, you know, and how the players adapt to that, you don't know. He's only had, you know, a few days to work on it and everything like that. So you don't know on that side of it, like, you know. But, you know, the last time I watched a game of football, manager never played.
True. The other thing I'd say as well is that this guy, he's got a very good record in other leagues, but he's never managed in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Right? So this is going to be a real baptism of fire for him as well, you know. So it can go either way for him, can't it?
But he does have people on his backroom staff that have managed in the Premier League before, or like been assistants in the Premier League before, so they'll know how to kind of manoeuvre that league. But it's going to be a big day. But with that psychological issue I was talking about before, right, with coming into the Lions Den pretty much at Tottenham, with the new manager bounce, the Lions Den, in the new manager bounce, with Arsenal dropping the points.
It's been a budgie cage lately, but anyway, go on.
With Arsenal dropping the points to Wolves, right, I think the atmosphere is going to be more intense than it has been over the last couple of years, with Spurs needing to win for safety, with Arsenal going for the league title as well. Are you worried about your players of being able to handle that?
Be able to handle that. I mean, like these players, you know, I always say these professional players of any team should be able to handle these atmospheres in derbies and that. You know what I mean? If you're a Declan Rice, you know what I mean? How many games have you played in derby games? You played in England games. You played in games of hostile atmospheres abroad and places like that. You got to be able to handle it. And I'm not being funny. Like, you know, if we go to your place and get a goal, that atmosphere can turn the other way as well. That can turn into next minute, you know, so, you guys can be singing sack the board and things like that.
Even if we go 1-0 down, we have to keep backing that team till the end.
Yeah, but I remember
I think we will.
I remember two seasons ago when we was 3-0 up at half time. I love to have had my phone out, the picture of the faces. You know what I mean? Like they were so like scared. But you know, and Spurs come back. Credit to them, like David Raya made that mistake. I think that Arsenal have been there. It's not like we're going to somewhere we're not used to. Tottenham's, you know, big stadium, hostile place. It has been for the last 2-3 years. So I don't see that being.
I don't think it has been though. It hasn't been that hostile place last 2 or 3 years.
But what's going to make it so hostile?
This is what I'm talking about. I think the new manager is going to give a place a lift, and as well as you dropping points on Wednesday, is also going to give the place a lift.
Yeah, but I mean, bit like what Mike Tyson used to say.
But what you're saying in over the last 3 seasons, you've not been up for the North London derby. Is that what you're saying?
It's
as fans,
atmosphere. No, I think the fans have been up for it, a section of the fan base, but I think the stadium's just been a bit dead. I think obviously one year you went 3-0 up at half time, game was done by half time. You know, the last time it was proper rocking, I think, was when we beat you 3-0 under Conte.
So basically, like, you've got your players that don't turn up for games, and now the fans don't turn up for North London derbies.
They're going to turn up this weekend, I guarantee you that.
But what makes it different because of a manager? You didn't turn up last year for the North London derby.
Because the pressure's on you guys this time.
It was on us last year when we won 1-0 there.
It was right at the beginning of the season. It was very different, you know. Now the pressure's really on you.
Will you go back to that game? Hold on a minute before we go back to that game. We had no Declan Rice in that game.
Yeah.
We was in. It was a lot of finishes. Oh, this is Tottenham's time to beat us. And all
Saka
that.
as well.
Yeah,
we had lots of injuries. We had loads. We had no midfield.
Yeah, but there was very early,
wasn't it?
No, the 1-0 when
it was very early on the season. Right now, you've been leading the Premier League for many weeks this season. There's signs of a stumble. Man City are breathing down your necks. The margin for error for you is very small. It's not a lot of margin for error.
No, I agree. But
so the pressure is on you to come here and get a result, and we know that.
Yeah, well, and as fans, we know that. We're going to the game when we're going to be right behind the team, like we always are. Why? I can't understand why you've not been up for North London derbies in the last couple of... But the new manager comes in, you are. I don't get that. Surely, like, when we went there last season... you know what I mean? Like, I felt that your fans were up for it last season. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see why.
Games.
Listen, I've seen your places. I've seen Chelsea go there, run all over you. I've seen Liverpool go there, run all over you. I've seen, you know, Man United, you know, get a last-minute equaliser there. Like, what I'm saying, right? Like Lee said, right? The fans ain't on the pitch, nor is the manager. It's them players, right?
They can have an impact.
And I'm looking at your players, and you've got a lot of injuries as well. I'm looking at our players, and if we turn up, we'll win the game. That's how I look on it. If we turn up to that game, Arsenal turn up and put in a performance that was better than what we saw at Wolves, and we know they're capable of doing it because I saw us under pressure. Remember, we were under pressure and we went away to Chelsea in that Carabao Cup. We're coming off the back of coming off the back of the United. But we were under pressure in that game. We went there, put three past Chelsea. You know what I mean? Like, this is a good side still.
Do you not think this is your highest...
You can say that, you know, we've been going through a little stumble, but it's still a very good side, right? And if they go there and they turn up...
I agree.
So
I agree with that,
this
but-
thing about atmosphere and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
we've been in hostile atmospheres literally everywhere Arsenal have
couldn't
gone
handle
this
the
season.
Wolves' hostile atmosphere.
Well, that wasn't a hostile atmosphere. That was quite the opposite,
It was
actually.
pretty
That was,
funny,
it was a weird atmosphere, right? But the
They
thing
acted
is,
like they won the league.
the thing is about it, right, is that like literally everywhere we go, because of the fact that we have been at the top, we're a big scalp. So everybody's been up for it. So they'll handle
also
the atmosphere is not going to be the major factor
But
in
you
this
could
game.
be 2 points clear, right, going into the game.
Could be,
And
yeah.
I think this could be
Probably
the
will
most
be.
kind of nervy game of the season.
hold on,
Most
it's always
high-pressure-
nervy,
most
always
high-pressure
nervy.
game, let's say.
And
Most
I get
high-pressure
that,
game.
and I
Always
get
is.
that, but you know, let's flip it.
You're relying only on
If
pressure.
West Ham win, if West Ham beat Bournemouth, and by Christ, I hope they do, right? You know, there's pressure on you as well. Then I know what you're saying. Oh, there's all the pressure on Arsenal. If it was the case, and
It'd be 3 points off, isn't it?
3 points off, 2 points off,
Two.
and
So the same.
and also like you know you would have to be there will be pressure on you on that game because you'll have to look at it and go, West Ham are the team in form, you know what I mean? Like, and I'd actually say if West Ham beat Bournemouth, I think it's probably like Nottingham Forest would be the
Yeah,
favourites.
but I think it's a bit different though because
Forest
I
have got
think
a
you're
new
looking
manager.
at Spurs in relegation. I think 3 or 4 games from now to the end of the season keep us up. If you only win 3 or 4 games, that's never going to
Yeah,
win
it's
the
a different-
title.
of
You know
course,
what I mean?
it's a different
so it's a bit
scenario,
of
I'll
a
get
different
that.
scenario.
Still pressure.
Yeah, of course.
Might not be 3-4 games if they're only 2 points off you. Forest as well. They got a new manager in Vita Pereira. He done a great
got our
job.
own new
Let us know what that pressure's like, won't you? Like, you know what I mean? You know what the pressure's like at the top.
Where are you guys at with Mikel? Because if he doesn't win anything, or let's say he just wins a Carabao Cup, would you want him gone at the end of the season?
For me, right, he needs to win something substantial this season, right? You know what I mean? We have been knocking on the door now for a long time. So he gets to that stage where you're like, can he get us over the line? So I think he does need to win something substantial. I'm going to reserve my judgment till the end of the season. I can't say that for now, you know what I mean? Like, but we definitely, I don't think he could end the season empty-handed.
Yeah, you know when you made a great the point you just made there. Do you want him gone? I don't want him gone. I don't want to sack Mikel Arteta. I don't want him out. But if he doesn't win anything, it's a case of you got to.
Do you think they'll sack him though? I can't see Arsenal sacking him.
I think he'll walk. I do because I don't think
From £15 million a year.
you can get
Walk
it
away
somewhere.
from it.
Listen,
You get a lot of jobs elsewhere.
Yeah.
We're seeing at the moment our clubs are desperate for managers. Like,
Do you think a Man City would pick him up?
Listen,
Possibly.
Would you?
I do think Pep
you'd love
should
to
go.
have Mikel Arteta. Forget
No, I
about the
would not.
Arsenal. No, hold on a minute. Forget
would.
about the
They would.
connections. What you are. Forget about the Arsenal connections. Just say that he's just a manager that comes in that can transform a club from 8 foot and struggling to get to where he is. There's a lot of clubs would have him.
know,
like.
Mikel Arteta is exactly
I'd
what
rather go for a Maurizio.
Sounds like you're describing
you're actually going for
Pochettino. You're describing some Pochettino. That's what you're describing.
Mikel Arteta is exactly the type of manager you guys need. Someone who's going to come in, rip it all up, and take his time and build it, right?
So
because
Pochettino, that's what
you're
we
in
need.
such a... But Pochettino, I just feel because I get why you want him back because he was...
And he built it.
He's done a great job,
And he
right?
wants to come back. He loves the
But
club.
is he coming back going to be... We see coming back so many times how it just don't work out
Like
like
when?
the first time. You know what I mean? And he ain't got a Harry Kane this time, and he ain't got a Son and people like that. He hasn't got the Dembélés and that.
Son.
Right? Yeah, but he bought those guys and he made them. He built them.
Exactly.
Didn't he? He built.
That's why we need him.
Is he going to get that time
What happens when it
to build
fails?
that?
He's going to
What
have
happens
to.
when it fails?
He's got
fail.
credit
I'll
in
tell
the
you
bank.
what, I will. Because he ain't the manager
Do
he
you
was
give him
at Tottenham.
3-4 years
Why?
to build it?
Well, he's never done it at Chelsea, never done it at PSG,
No, I think
struggling
that's
at USA.
pretty unfair what you're saying about Chelsea and PSG because he was only given a year at Chelsea and second
But it
half of the
didn't work.
season was a lot better.
I may say, I
They
like,
finished
look,
sixth.
to get
They
me
finished sixth on
I
the back
like
of a bad
Pochettino as a manager. I
season.
think he's a very,
Done a great job.
done a great job at Tottenham. But I think there's a little bit of desperation holding out for something that might not
The thing is, the Chelsea game was unfair or criticism on him because he had a great second half of the season. He left the job because of differentiation from the board and stuff, selling Conor Gallagher and stuff like that. And Conor Gallagher's at Spurs now. And with PSG, he's gone in there, didn't win the league first season, won it the second season, but Luis Enrique had to come in and rip that whole thing apart, get rid of Messi, get rid of Neymar, get rid of all these players, And you're seeing the young breed of PSG players come up and win the Champions League.
Listen, if
the
that's
whole
what you
club needed a whole refit.
If you want to go for a Pochettino, then that's fine. Like, but don't turn your nose up how good Mikel Arteta is.
I'm just saying, why is he much better than Poch?
I'm not saying he is.
At this moment in time, you can't say he's much better than Poch because
How many title challenges did you have under Pochettino?
Two. Yeah, he's had 3 already.
Yeah.
So
but there's a difference about how the club backed Arsenal.
I argue that it was 2.
Huh?
I'll say it was more than 1.5. But I understand.
Yeah, but he had a whole transfer window. He didn't spend any money. Zero.
Spurs had a
Zero
self-imposed
signing.
transfer ban.
Listen. But
now we're not in that same club anymore. We have money to spend now.
yeah, but I just don't know, man. I just feel.
Why did you sack him then?
It was a horrible mistake.
Stupid mistake.
We didn't back him properly. We went a whole summer without signing players. We then ended up after the Champions League.
Wembley. Yeah.
Sorry?
When you went to Wembley.
Yeah, went to Wembley as well. As Poch said, we had so many other distractions going on at the time. We weren't able to spend the money. Then the squad started to go stale. He wasn't able to refresh it, replenish it, like get exactly what Arteta's been doing, get the Nkappiés and whatever, and all these players, Zubimendi's, refresh the squad and keep it competitive and keep it deep. He wasn't able to do that. The results suffered and it cost his job. And Daniel Levy got kind of excited about the idea of Mourinho. Well, he was past it at the time. It was a horrendous error, horrendous mistake. None of us at Tottenham think that this board make anything but horrendous mistakes and horrendous errors. And even now, no one trusts them. But the reality is, Poch is a manager we know. He's a manager that we all believe in and we trust.
Got credit in the bank.
And it's an easy win for the board. And he wants to come back. So it's not. No one at Tottenham, none of the fans trust this board to make any decision that's a good decision.
Do you think like, if Man United come in for him, because when he was at Tottenham, he was touting to go to Man United.
He'd come back to Spurs.
He was touting to go to Man United. He wanted to go to Man United.
He said he knows deep in his heart he'll come back to Tottenham one day. That's what he said.
United could have Champions League football next season.
That's true. But I don't think
he'll back himself at Spurs to get back there.
Okay.
And you look at the way the two boards acted. You signed Declan Rice for 100 million. We signed Sissoko for 30 million when we needed to kick on. You know what I mean? That's the way that what managers have
we've
been
done
given.
that. We've done that under Arsene. We could say that about Arsene Wenger. He was let down.
Yeah, and that's when you were going downhill.
Yeah.
So
not fighting relegation. Though.
yeah, true. Look, anyway, big game this weekend. Score predictions, guys?
I'm going 3-1. I fancy Arsenal to. I think there's going to be a response from the team. You know, listen, they deeply stung by the other night. They've been heavily criticised by everybody, right? So they know what this game means. They've just got to go and turn up. And I feel, I'm not disrespecting Spurs. I just think you guys got a lot of injuries at the moment. You know what I mean?
Surely law of averages, man.
Well, you got a lot of injuries.
4 in a row.
You got a lot of injuries at the moment, and I think that's going to go against you.
Lee?
4 in a row. It would be 4 in a row, wouldn't it?
You've won 3 in a row at Tottenham. It can't be 4, man. It can't be 4.
Do you know what? I'm going to say home advantage is a massive thing in these games. So I think.
We don't have home advantage.
We play at home.
We play at home. We don't get no home advantage.
Listen, if the Spurs what we've been watching turn up, then it's an Arsenal win, and we know that. But I think that maybe if Arsenal to win it would be sneaking it 2-1, but I think 1-1.
All right, guys, Sim?
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-2. Igor Tudor's first game, new manager bounce. The crowd are going to be up for it. I think it's going to be unpredictable, the kind of style to play, the upper intensity. And I just think we're going to catch them off guard. And they're shaking at the moment. And I think if we get an early goal, that might start to show.
I think it's going to be 2-2 as well. I think it's going to be a big cauldron, the atmosphere. And I think Spurs are going to turn up. Igor Tudor's first game. And I think Spurs are going to take away a point and dent Arsenal's title hopes even more and give us a valuable point in terms of the relegation battle as well. But Lee, Robbie, I'll shake your hand now because we won't be shaking hands on Sunday.
I'm not going to wish you good luck.
You know where to find these guys, AFTV. But thank you everyone for watching today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always,
come on you Spurs.